This is just going to be a little quick video. This is how to do the timing belt and water pump on the Honda Odyssey. It's going to be kind of an abbreviated version because I want to go shooting. Yeah, I haven't been in a while. First thing you want to do, if you're going to do the water pump, you want to drain the antifreeze. The way you do that is slightly to the, the passenger side. There's a radiator drain cock. You drain that. I like to do that first because it takes a little time to get her done. The next thing you want to do is you want to pull off the idiot hood. And to do that, it's got 4 10mm bolts that go in here, 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 and here. You have to pull that off to get off the secondary idiot hood that goes over the valve cover. And to do that, you just twist the little screw things on each end and they're out of here. Next, you want to pull out the timing cover covers, the cam covers themselves. They each have 4 bolts a piece. It's 5. So you got 4 around the outside and 1 in the middle. So you do both of those. The next thing you like to do is pull the power steering pump. You pull it all the way off. There's a 12mm bolt on this side. There's another 12mm nut that goes on this stud here that goes to that. And then there's also a tensioner here. You want to loosen the tensioner almost all the way off. Remove the nut, remove the bolt, and pull that off. The reason why you've got to do that is below that there's a motor mount. There's 3 parts to it. The first one I pull all together. It sits in there like this, and it actually comes out through this opening here behind the lines. You got to unbuckle that little part of the wire harness off, get it out of the way, and then you've got a bunch of 14mm bolts. You've got 3 on the top, and then there's 2, 1 on each side down at the bottom. So you pull that up and you set it aside, and then the next thing you want to do is you want to pull out the motor mount bracket that goes in over the top of the water pump. It has 3 bolts, they're 14mm, and it basically goes in like that. When you're looking at it from the top, that's what that top bolt went to, that one right there. So anyway, you pull that out, and the reason why you got to pull that out is because it covers up the timing belt with part of itself, but it also bolts straight through the water pump. When you're looking at the water pump in there, you can see those 2 bolt holes that are side by side in the pulley. That's what those are right there. This is the water pump, what it looks like once it's out. See those 3 bolts? All 3 of those are part of that motor mount I just showed you that I put over there. So you got to pull that off, and then you've got 3 bolts on the left. These are the hard ones, and then you've got 2 on the right. These aren't too bad. The next thing you want to do is line up your top dead center. I'm going to show you the timing marks on this. Where'd that flashlight go? Here it is. You see the timing mark on this cam wheel? You look inside. Let me see if I can get this camera there. It's such a small camera, but it doesn't. There we go. See, it says a number 1, a 6, 3, 5, 2, and 4. You want the number 1 up. Now, each of them have a little mark at the end of the thing, like on the tooth right there. You want this mark for the number 1 to be lined up with that mark on the back of the timing cover. So you line that one up, you line this one up, and it just has 1 mark. It just has the top dead center mark on the cam wheel right there, and it's got a corresponding mark on the back of its timing cover as well. If you look down at the base down here, you can see I've got the timing cover pulled down there. There's a mark, there's a little arrow that's stamped in there, that little green arrow, and then a corresponding arrow on the gear for the crankshaft, the drive. So you get everything lined up, and then you remove the timing tensioner. That's that down there, and then I'll probably do another video on how to do the tensioner stuff. Other thing you want to bear in mind, you get all these lined up, you have to loosen this cam drive, or man, I'm not doing good on vocabulary. You have to remove this bolt. It's a 17mm. The reason why you got to do that is you look at the water pump, it goes back behind there. So you'll have to take that cam wheel off in order to get to the water pump and remove it. Other things, let's see, there's something else I wanted to say about this. I'm forgetting what it was. I think that's it for now. If I remember it, I'll add it. Okay, so here's what we look like with the water pump out. Now, as you can see, that cam wheel is still there. You didn't have to take it off after all. Sound like that Philippines Got Talent BM. Check that out on YouTube. Makes horse noises. It's pretty cool. So anyway, as far as that goes, that's just how you do that. I like to clean the surface really good with brake parts cleaner. And I like to seal it with a gasket maker that's called The Right Stuff. It's made by Permatex. So I'll seal that in just because I don't want to go back in and redo this if it leaks. You know, if this pops out or, you know, hangs out a little bit and creates a leak, I don't want to go back in after it. The sealer gasket maker actually holds it together really good, so it's cheap insurance. I recommend it. Good luck. Oh, wait, a side note, how you do the tensioner on these are called, I like to call them a grenade tensioner. You can press them, you get all this pressure build up, and you put a pin in it. You install it in the car, and then it goes off. When you're pulling the timing belt on, that backside cam, this one, I like to use office supply paper clips for stacks of paper. I clip the belt on that one first, run it up underneath a water pump pulley, back up to the other cam, and then I like to rotate this one back with a wrench, a little 17mm wrench, crank it back, put the teeth on, put the clamp on, and then rotate it forward to the right till it's on the mark. And then for the bottom, I'll go down here and I'll rotate this pulley, what would it be, counterclockwise until I can get the belt on it, and then I rotate it clockwise till it's tight. Now all the slack, all the marks are on, and all the slack is where the tensioner is on this back side. So then what I'll do is I'll take the tensioner that I just put together. So I pull this tight and it'll kind of stay. I'll get it out of the way so I can put the tensioner in. Take the two bolts, little 10mm head ones, and I'll take this down underneath. Ka-ping! And I'll install it up in there. You can see those two bolt holes are where it goes, and then that's the tensioner where it, that's a little foot that the tensioner pushes on. Load it up, put it on, pull the pin.